The second lesson in week 6 is talking about the tangent ratio. It's also called the slope ratio. Okay, the slope ratio. So it's talking about rise over run. And in this problem it says, according to the triangle at the right, what is the slope ratio or the tangent ratio for 32? So if this is 32 degrees, well it is, this is the base. So do you see how this would be the rise? This is how high it went, and this is how far, or the run. So if your slope equals rise over run, if the slope equals rise over run, then from this position, my rise is 5 and my run is 8. Well, another way to look at that is from this position, this 5 is the opposite of 32 degrees. And then the 8 is adjacent. So adjacent. And so this could be true for any position. So if we look at this 58, the 58, in this case 8 is the opposite and 5 is the adjacent. So people get really mixed up with opposite and adjacent. So imagine I am right here, I'm standing right here, and I have my arms extended this way, right? So the adjacent, I'll do it with the 32, so I already have the words written down. If these are my arms, right? These are my arms. Adjacent is always the one where your arm is touching. So you have the A for arm, A for adjacent, to help you remember. The other side that your arm is going to touch is going to be the hypotenuse. Remember, we always know that the hypotenuse is the one across from 90 degrees. So if I were to redo this and I say what is the slope for the ratio of 58 degrees, okay, and I'm going to do opposite over adjacent, okay, now my perspective is from the 58. Well, if this is my 58, now my 5 is the arm is touching here, so that's arm. A begins with A, arm, adjacent, and then this side right here becomes my opposite, so 8 over 5. And how do I know that? Because it's the reference, I'm using my reference from 58 degrees, okay? Your angle of reference is always determining whether you're looking at which side you're looking at, okay? So now scientific calculators have a button, and I'm going to go show you how to get to that scientific calculator. Let's see if I can extend this further. You're going to go to Desmos. Oh, it's not part of the screen. I'm going to make my screen bigger. Go to Desmos Scientific Calculator. See right here where it says Desmos Scientific Calculator? You're going to click on that, and this for the scientific calculator. Click on it. You're going to get something that looks like this, and this is what you want. You want to have this tangent. Okay, this stands for tangent. COS is cosine and sine. We'll talk about that next lesson. But we want to have this tangent button. Okay, and scientific calculators, you can see down here on my little screen. I'll make it bigger again, and we'll come back to this. The scientific calculators, I can actually type into my calculator tangent 32, and this will give me the slope ratio. So we should get 0.625. So if I go back to my calculator, and I'm going to hit tangent 32, and well, it's kind of cut off on how my computer is, but you can see right over here on the left it says tangent 32, and then your answer comes over here. So My screen cut it off a little bit. Oh, you know what? I can make it bigger and go like this. Okay. So on this side it says 0.6248, and the paper said 0.625. So that's rounding. You go to the number right after where you want it. We're going to take it out 3 decimals, and we went to the next decimal. Since that number is 5 or larger, then this becomes 0.625. And on the right side, you see how it says tangent 32. So your calculator is going to be the work on the left and the answer on the right. All right. So now what happens when you look at it on your paper? It says the next problem, what happens when you enter 58 degrees? So we're going to I'm going to clear everything. I'm just going to actually back it up and put tangent 58. And notice over here on the right hand side, it gave me 1.6000. So hopefully you can go on your computer and practice touching that. Okay, do you know how to find tangent on the calculator? All right, so we're going to go back to our paper. My paper. Okay, do you know how to find tangent on the calculator? That's what you want to make sure you know what to do to be able to find tangent. All right, so here's an example. We want to use our scientific calculator to find the slope ratio for the given angle and solve for x. So we want to know, we can actually find out the length of x given this information. This is 38. So remember, tangent of 38 degrees is opposite over adjacent. So if I do tangent 38 equals, and now what's opposite 38? Well, again, here's my little arms right here. I'm touching the hypotenuse, and my arm is touching, arm begins with A, is touching the adjacent. So the 8 is going to go on the bottom, the x is going to go on top. And an easy way to do this, because we've been using proportions a lot, is to take this over 1, and we're just going to do cross products. X times 1 is x equals 8 times tangent 38. Now we're going to type 8 times tangent 38 into the calculator. Let's go do that. And I can clear it, but I'm just going to back it up. I'm going to go 8 times, and then I'm going to hit the times button over here. 8 times tangent 38. Oh, what was that? My sister's calling. Hold on. Okay, so we are going to do 8 times tangent 38, and we got 6.25 is our answer. See, when I make it larger on the side of the screen, on the right side, so 6.25 is the answer. I'm going to go back to paper so you can see that. All right, 6.25. All we did was type that into the calculator. And you have to go to Desmo's Scientific Calculator. Let's look at the problems on the next page. Okay, the problems on the next page is a triangle, and it asks you to find, oops, I wrote with black and it went through here. It asks you to find the measure of the missing side. So here is x, and this says 73 degrees. All right, so we're going to use this 73 degrees, and we are practicing tangent only. Tangent of 73, the degree measure always goes with the tangent ratio. Okay, tangent 73 degree equals, and remember it's opposite over adjacent. So tangent 73 equals, now what's opposite? Well, remember, here's my, if this is my little person and these are my arms, okay, my arms is going to touch the hypotenuse. Always label the hypotenuse. Okay, and then from this perspective, this being 73, and my arm is here, this is adjacent, and then that makes this side opposite. So you're always going to have an opposite, an adjacent, and a hypotenuse. So opposite is 9, adjacent is x. And if I slide this and put 1 times 9, when I do cross products, 9 equals x times tangent of 73. So we're going to solve for x. So in order to do that, we are going to get x by itself. This is x times tangent of 73. So if I divide this side by tangent of 73 and divide this side by tangent of 73, we're going to get x equals, and I'm going to type this into the calculator, 9 over tangent 73. So here's what we get. We're going to erase. We're going to get 9 divided by tangent 73, and our answer is, I'm going to slide my 2.75, I'm looking at the right hand side, 2.751. Okay. And that is my answer. I will show you what I wrote on my paper, 2.751. So everything is based on the setup of your angle. So this is 45 degrees, and so this is my hypotenuse. It's across from the 90 degrees. From this perspective, my opposite is the x. And if you don't believe me, here's my arms. My arms touch the hypotenuse and the adjacent side. So I'm going to go tangent 45 equals opposite. You can even write at the top of your paper. Tangent equals opposite over adjacent. So you don't have to write it at every problem. So opposite is x over adjacent 14 over 1. Then we're just going to multiply. X times 1 equals 14 times tangent 45. We're going to go to our calculator. And we're going to type that in. Come over here. 14 times tangent. So if I don't put a time symbol and I just put 14 and tangent next to each other, then they are, that means times. Tangent 45, I can hit enter, and let's come over here and what my answer is. Oh, look at what I got. Oh, can you get it in here? Well, you can't see it on the screen, but it's 14. The answer is 14. Couldn't fit that on the screen. X equals 14. Well, this makes a lot of sense because if this is 45 and this is 90, then to make the three angles add up to 45 or add up to 180, this also has to be 45. So do you see how these two angles are the same? Then that means they're going to be opposite. The sides are also going to be the same, because if this is 45 degrees and this is 45 degrees, the sides opposite them also have to be the same length. All right, we are going to, I'm going to leave some problems for you to do on your own, but I'll help you set up some. So if this is my angle that I know, this is my hypotenuse, this is my opposite, it's opposite the 8 degrees, and then this is my adjacent. Just a visual reminder, here's my arms, right? The arms touch the hypotenuse and the adjacent. So we're going to go tangent 8 equals t over 82. And if I put this over 1, I can just do cross products. So you can do cross products to solve that one. B and C you can figure out on your own. For this one down here, it says solve all the missing side lengths and angles. So here, this is 40 degrees right here. 40 plus 90 is 130, and so I need another 50 degrees. You solve that one. Now I can solve for x. If this is where I'm standing, okay, this is my hypotenuse, this is my adjacent, this is my opposite. All right, that's been set up for you. You can set this one up on your own, giving you a little more leeway. Now here, I want you to think about this. Here, my two sides are the same. So what do you think theta has to be? You can look at problem B, but remember, if the sides are the same, The angles across are the same. All right.